Okay, so today we have kind of a good news, bad news situation. The bad news is that I am currently 15 books behind on my Goodreads challenge for the year, but the good news is that a week from tomorrow I leave for my honeymoon, which means a week of lying on a beach and catching up on my reading. So today I'm going to pick some of the books I'll be bringing along with me, trying to choose ones that I'm most confident that I'm going to love, so that I fly through a bunch of books while I'm away, and I'm going to bring you guys along for the ride. Hey WordNerds, happy Tuesday. I hope you're all having a great week so far. So as usual, today we are going to talk about books, which is something I really need to catch up on because I have not been reading nearly as much as I want to or as much as I usually do. I have been writing way more, which is awesome, but I feel like reading is what really inspires me and fuels my writing, so I need to jump back into that, read some books I'm going to love, and I'm hoping that my honeymoon will be the perfect time to do that because I have a lot of free time that I can just use for reading because Matt is going to be napping for a good chunk of our vacation. So I want to bring along a big stack of books with me. I'll also be throwing some on my Kindle, but for today I wanted to talk a little bit about 5 books that I am reasonably confident I'm going to love, and then when I get back, my next video is also going to be on a Tuesday, so I will let you guys know how I did, if I loved them, and throw up some mini reviews for you guys. So the first book I want to read while I'm away is actually our book club pick for the month, and that is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This is a fantasy heist story actually set in the same Russian-inspired world as her Grisha trilogy. I've heard so many good things about this book. There's a big, lovable cast that are a little bit dark and a little bit awesome, and they do all kinds of wonderful things together. I don't actually know that much about it, but this is one I really want to jump into blind. I have heard some people have had trouble getting into it initially, but I am confident this is going to be a book I really love, and if nothing else, the pages are beautiful, so I am glad to have it as part of my collection. Next up is The Song Rising by Samantha Shannon, which is the 3rd book in the Bone Season series. We did the first one for a book club a long time ago, and I really loved it. I also enjoyed the second one. This is set in an alternate version of London, where a bunch of people have magical powers. There's a really complicated magic system that is also really cool. The world is secretly dominated by a second race of magical people, and there's a rebellion going on there, and just all kinds of awesome stuff. I did listen to the first 2 books in this series in audiobook, but the 3rd audiobook reviews were kind of meh, and I did have a physical arc of this one, so even though it's out, it is well past time for me to actually jump into this. I am dying to see what happens next and see if the experience is any different actually reading the book. I'll let you know how it goes. Then we have Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel, which is actually a book I've been dying to read forever because I've had so many people tell me I will love it and that it's amazing. It is set in a post-apocalyptic world with a roving group of Shakespearean actors, and that alone sounds all kinds of awesome. I've heard the writing on this is really fantastic and the characters are great, plus it is kind of an interesting storytelling type novel, jumping around through decades and going back and forth on different characters and all of that fun stuff. So it does sound like it's going to be a little bit different from my usual read, but I've heard so many people love this book that I'm confident I will too. Next up, we have a book I wish I could put on my Kindle because it's huge, but there's no way I'm reading this book in anything but physical form, and that is Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I loved Illuminae. This is a sci-fi series following different characters with each book as bad things happen and things get dark and twisty. Illuminae was so scary. I've heard similar things about Gemina. Matt has actually read this one and I haven't, so it is long past time for me to check this one out, and I am dying to see what happens because the story is just so epic and the scope is so brilliant, and I just need more sci-fi books in my life, so this is going to be pretty much perfect. And finally, we have a book that I am so confident I will 5-star, 6-star, 7-star and read again and again and again, and that is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This book is very shiny and hard to hold up to the camera, but I loved Laini Taylor's Daughter of Smoke and Bone series. Rachel said she absolutely adored this book, so that is a high recommendation for me because I want to love everything about it. The concept sounds so cool. As far as I can tell, this book is about a junior librarian named Laszlo Strange who is obsessed with a lost city named Weep, and everything about this just sounds so surreal and beautiful, and if Laini Taylor has written this in her usual style, there is no doubt that everything about it is going to be gorgeous, and I can't wait to read it. Really, I've just been putting it off because I know I only get to read it for the first time once, but I think this upcoming week is going to be when I finally pull that trigger and fall into this world and fall madly in love. Alright guys, that's it for me today. Let me know in the comments if you have read and loved any of these books, or if there's anything you think I should be checking out for my honeymoon reading, because I do still have a couple other books that I'm not sure which ones I'm going to bring along yet. I will probably bring at least 7 so that I can just dive into something new every day if I'm reading as much as I hope to be. And of course, don't forget to join us on Sunday for our next live chat where we are talking about writing your first novel. There's going to be a lot of great advice there, along with some embarrassing excerpts from all of us. So hopefully we will see you guys there. In the meantime, happy reading, happy writing, and I'll see you next time.